Good evening, sports fans, and it's Wednesday Night Live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. And remember, it's all on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, and it's presented tonight by Coach's Corner, located on Victory Drive right here in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Well, it's been a week since the coach and I have been on. Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I got you. Loud and clear.
Okay.
I can't see you, but I got you.
Oh, you can't see me. I can see you.
Can't see you.
I'm on the screen.
I got the Karl DeMasi Sports Report screen.
Okay. I see you. Let's check the Facebook pages. Okay. Bear with me. I was a little behind today, guys. A lot of work and trying to get this show to go here. All right. Still can't see me?
Nope. I can click out, try to click back in, see if you can bring me back in, see if that works.
All right, Lawrence, producer of the other Coach's Corner Sports Network show, Rubbin' and Grubbin', he can see me. I just lost Chad, so he's trying to hook up again. So once again, it's the coach, Karl DeMasi. Yep, it's working. And Chad had to jump off here, so let's hope he gets right back on. And I'm checking all my internet connections. Everything's working. Hopefully Chad's phone can get back on here. But anyway, he's trying to connect right now. You got to love live internet. Chad, can you see me now?
I got you, man. You crystal clear, baby.
Once again, it's Wednesday Night Live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. It's the Coach and AD. Remember, it's all presented by Coach's Corner, and it's on the Coach's Corner Sports Network as it's scrolling down the bottom of our little ticker here. It's been a week, Chad. Nice to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you. How was Asheville?
It was beautiful, but I went to Asheville because I thought it would be 85 the high, 60 degrees at night. You could open the window, 95 during the day. Felt like I was in Savannah, humidity, and at nighttime, 75 degrees. It was tough. It was tough, but you know what? Got away, got to see the Biltmore estate. I mean, it's unbelievable. George Vanderbilt, New Yorker, railroad, you name it, this guy did it, had a lot of money. Unbelievable. This house was built in 1889, finished in 1895, and there was no machinery that we have now. I can't believe the architecture, the design, the sculptures, the paintings. It just blew me out of the water. 42 bathrooms, restrooms, 65 fireplaces, a pool, a bowling alley. Hey, I would have loved to live there back then too.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. You know, they talked about, establishing air conditioning and how they did that. And it's just, I tell you, but if you ever get to go back at Christmas, that's the key. If you ever get to go back at Christmas, it is something like you've never seen before.
Well, it was amazing. And of course, the scenery, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean, we went to Mount Pisgah National Forest. I mean, it was just a whole beautiful thing. We hiked in the woods. So it wasn't a lot to do, but we got there. Of course, you go downtown Asheville. Where's everybody? At the IPA breweries, okay? So we stopped along there. We did wine tasting. I mean, it was really neat experience, and I'm glad I went. I wish the Asheville Tourists were playing, but minor league baseball was defunct. But on the television to my left, the Braves and Marlins are going at it. I know they were in the 8th inning, and the Braves were losing 4-2. I haven't checked it since setting all this up, but tomorrow, Yankees Nationals, and then on Friday, we got the Braves against the Mets in New York. But, okay, so it's the top of the 9th, and the Marlins are winning, I think it was 7-2, so I can't see from this distance. But once again, baseball's back. No fans. It's going to be like watching Korean baseball. They got the cutouts in the stands. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, having baseball back in general is such a positive note for everybody. Be able to watch something else. I know you've watched probably every Yankees game replay. So it's been but it's great to have them back. I mean, young guys at the top of the lineup. Pitching staff looks good, and so it's just going to be 60 games, man. Last year, with Washington, they wouldn't have made the playoffs in the first 60 games. So it's really going to be how you come out of the gate.
Well, I'm refocusing my eyes. It's 6-2. It's the top of the 9th. The Marlins got first and second with 2 outs, so we'll see what happens. Yesterday, They bring back Mr. Adams, and he hits a walk-off home run. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait till tomorrow to watch the Yankees and Nationals, and we'll go from there. Okay, just so you know, Coach's Corner is the proud sponsor. It's the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Just want to let you know, tonight, Coach is out in the Sound Garden, has Pub Star Trivia. There's about 30 people out there. Of course, social distancing. All right? Live music this weekend in the Sound Garden. Hey, your boys are back, or your boys and your girl are back. The Drucker Band, we came to see them. Bunch of Calvary Day School alumni, really good. Music wasn't allowed, but we were all right. Saturday night, Coaches proudly welcomes Voodoo Soup. Remember that. You got to do that tomorrow. Voodoo Soup. Right. Savannah's premier funk band, Big E and Cool James, will start laying down the music, or they call the grooves now, at 7 p.m. And don't forget, Sunday, you got to try this out, Chad. I came a couple of Sundays ago, dueling pianos at 6 p.m. So once again, don't forget, Rubbin' and Grubbin' here, the NASCAR show that they do, Dan Foles and Brandon Baines, great show. That's what's on tap here at Coach's Corner. And remember, it's all sports all the time and music. All right. So the big thing is, Chad, I'm an AD now. You're an AD now, so we can call it the AD and the AD. But Georgia High School, South Carolina Independent School Association, Georgia Independent Schools Association have all pushed back football, which was needed to be done. All right? Let's give them an update. You're the man with all the news. You got all the connections more than I do. Hopefully I'll get in that circle now, but let us know.
Yeah, but, so board trustees meeting was called last Friday from Georgia High School. And so they met on Monday at 1 o'clock and met for a good while. Had a lot of discussion about starting back fall sports. You've seen states, kind of surrounding like Virginia and others, cancel football and so on and so forth. So you start to see maybe a domino effect. And then South Carolina came out, and I think that helped Georgia. South Carolina came out and said, we're going to play, we're going to push it back, and we're going to cut how many games we play down. But we're still going to play. I think that helped Georgia, get it going. A couple of things from that, though. So original vote was 8-4 to, but there was some discrepancy in there about, hey, going ahead and playing like it is. So it didn't pass. They came back and said, hey, if we move it back 2 weeks, all right, that would be the key. You have Metro Atlanta schools, and I do have empathy for Metro Atlanta schools. You got 4.5 million people up there. It's a whole different world than South Georgia. And so, that was some issues there. Said, hey, give us 2 more weeks, push the season back. I don't have a problem with it from the standpoint of, one, it's 90-something degrees anyhow. I don't, me and you had this conversation before. I don't understand why we start football in September anyhow. So, hey, they're going to push it back 2 weeks. So your first scrimmages that could have been on the 7th are now the 21st, and your first games are now September 4th. And you're going to play a full 10-week schedule with with your bye weeks in there. And then the state championships will now be after Christmas Day. But as me and you talked about, Carl, this is the one thing. They did not currently make any decisions about pushing winter sports. Every other fall sport will start on time. That means, softball, volleyball, cross country, competition cheer. So girls flag football got pushed a week. That was all it got pushed. But no winter sports got pushed. And I know you got deep feelings about this, Carl, on, not pushing the winter sports back to adjust to what's going on with football. So
I mean, and I'm not just doing this now because I'm coaching basketball, okay? I'm doing this now for all schools, all classifications. We preach. We love multi-sport athletes. By doing this, by making arrangements or exceptions for football, in my mind, is totally wrong. We don't have to play 10 games. We could play an 8-game season, and we could finish the playoffs right on time like we usually do. But to make it a 10-game season and then push the championships till after Christmas, I mean, the small schools, the Class A schools, the Class AA schools, even some AAA schools rely on the multi-sport athlete. Whether it's boys or girls, okay, it's still going to affect everybody. And I just wish they would have taken consideration of what the small schools down here in the Southeast, the Southwest have to deal with. Yes, I know there's so many more people up in Atlanta. I understand. I come from an area where in one county we had over 300,000 people. I mean, not even a county. I mean, an area. And, you got to make arrangements for everybody. And I just think that 10 games was not needed. 8 games would have been fine. You would have your 5-week playoff. It would finish before Christmas or on the usual date. But you know what? I'm not on the executive board.
I know that was brought up. I talked to Kevin Petrosky, the Class A private rep, and he brought that up about, hey, guys, you realize the impact for smaller schools in not adjusting basketball. And they said, hey, we're not willing to look at that at this time. And so, I mean, basketball practice starts middle of, October. And so, I mean, there you go. And so October, November, December, I mean, you talking about, like, if you go to state finals, you're not going to have kids till probably after Christmas. And then you got January, you basically got 6 weeks. 6 weeks to play basketball for those kids. And now you've had football from July 27th, all right, because they didn't push that back today either. We thought maybe the medical advisory committee would come out and push back, acclimation. That didn't happen. And so now you're going to have 6 weeks of practicing football, and then you're going to have, September, October, November, December, and then your smaller Class A schools that are really impacted by football and AA, and like you said, AAA, people you rely on, are going to have 6 weeks of basketball, Carl. And maybe they will look at things as they continue to go and develop and reevaluate that. I don't think there's any harm in moving basketball back a couple of weeks. Why not go ahead and move everything back 2 weeks in winter? It's not going to hurt anything. And then the same thing. I mean, like, my feeling is you feel like you don't need, 10 football games. I feel like I don't need 22 basketball games or 25 basketball games.
I agree.
That's yeah. I mean,
if we want to finish the school year on time, like we usually do, you're going to have to cut every sport. I know volleyball, softball, cross country. What else am I missing? Competition cheerleader. They'll have the same amount of time period. But if you push football back, you got to cut short basketball, and then you're going to have to cut short in your spring sports. So all around, something's got to be, equaled out here. And that's just my point of view. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I mean, we'll take the South Carolina High School League. They're not starting practice to what? August 17th, and their first game is September 11th. We could have done the same thing. And, and we discussed this too. You know what? You could adjust the school calendar. It's no longer based on days. It's based on hours. So there's something else that Georgia High School could have recommended to school districts. But you know what? The kids are going to get to play, which I love, and I agree with it. But it needs to be on an even playing field for everybody getting the same amount of time. I mean, it was my choice. I sent my kids to private school, okay? Their friends went to private school. That's where they wanted to go. It was up to me. They would have came to Groves with me, but they wanted to go where their friends went. I mean, and they were all 3 sports athletes, and some of them, well, 2 of them were affected because they went to the playoffs in football, so they got the basketball late, okay? They had to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get in shape in basketball. Then the basketball team would go to the playoffs, and then they'd have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to the baseball season. It's their choice. That's what they had to do. The coaches made their own decision on how they handle it. But now we can help all students out, but I got to get off my soapbox.
Yeah, well, I know that's one thing that we constantly talk about is the overlap in sports. There's got to be a way to, rework that calendar, and we were hoping maybe COVID would help in that regard with reworking the calendar. Hey, we don't have to start football till September, which we're doing,
right?
And we can work that. But maybe it's just reworking everything else to go along with it. Being done May 15th. I don't know why that's a big deal now. It used to. I remember state finals in baseball wasn't until the first week of June. And so, but that's what we're dealing with right now. And then we can move into the, once again, the COVID is a big thing with what we're going to deal with as athletic directors. as the protocols came out here a little bit ago from the various heads of sport at Georgia High School, whether it was Don Core, Kevin Giddens, Penny Mitchell, so you're seeing that. You can use locker rooms, but they're going to ask you to wear a mask in locker rooms, recommend it, clean the lockers each day. And so, there's a lot of things that are being put on, top of this, that just more that we have to do, but we also understand, hey, that's part of being able to play sports, is we're just got to take more and more precautions as we go forward.
And you're watching Wednesday Night Live, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report edition, Wednesday Night Live. We'll be back Saturday morning right here in the Sound Garden. And it's the coach, Karl DeMasi, the AD, Chad Griffin, and it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. If you missed it earlier, at 6 o'clock, the other show on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Rubbin' and Grubbin', went live. Great show, 45 minutes. Brandon Bain, Stan Foles. You can go to the Facebook page. You can watch it if you missed it. And once again, those guys do a great job. I know I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I thought they were talking about picking cars. I picked number 18. You heard him. You picked 10. You picked 8, right?
Yeah, picked 8 cautions.
And that was the total amount of cautions. And the number was 10. So you were closer than I was. I was trying to pick a car. Just a favorite number of mine of 18. So once again, they do a good job. So we'll look forward. I know you guys will announce your plans at Calvary Day School, how you're handling students coming back to school. Benedictine released the big news this morning or today with social media, Twitter, whatever. They're going to go, back into the classroom. That's the only 2 schools I've heard of so far. Chatham County announced that they will go 2 weeks virtual and then reevaluate after Labor Day. You hear any other schools?
Yeah, I mean, Savannah Christian's going back, like us. I think they're also going to probably offer parents that are unsure at this time. Like, we're going back August 13th as a school. We're going to offer parents the option. We sent surveys out to our parents of how many felt that they, just didn't feel like sending their kids back at school yet, but still want the digital platform. And so we're evaluating that on what those numbers look like for us. We're planning to go back August 13th. Our plan will come out this week as well. We've been, like everybody else, you go with the health advisory board off the recommendations they have. And I've talked to, probably like you talk to ADs from around the state and what they're doing, how they're handling things, everything from, hey, are they wearing masks in their school? Or are they going to wear a mask on transportation? And it's all over the place. I mean, every school has a little bit different format than what you're doing. There's no kind of, hey, one size fits all in this mix. You have schools in all different platforms all over the state, just kind of handling things a little bit different from their standpoint. But I know one thing that me and you talked about is, we feel like, hey, if you have the opportunity to be in school and play athletics, hey, we feel like you probably need to be in school to do that.
Right.
And so I know that's one thing we'll all have to deal with at some point when that comes across, and every school is taking a little bit different stance on that as well. I know there's private schools in Athens and Land that's offering no digital format, and that you're either at school or not. Then there's schools that are going to offer, families, if they're not comfortable with the digital format, to stay at home. And some of them are saying, hey, if you stay home, you can't play sports. Some of them are saying you stay home, you still can't play sports. And so it's everybody's all over the place here. There's no one size fits all right now on how to deal with COVID-19. But some good news that we saw, that looks like Pfizer's got a vaccine that's been promising. U.S. ball, I can't tell you how many millions, hundreds of millions of vaccines from Pfizer already that hopefully will come out in December, it looks like.
Yep.
And so that's some positive news, from that standpoint of, hey, maybe we're starting to get a handle on this. But, we even had the governor of New York down here the other day.
Yeah. Excuse me. They got me choked up here. People ask me, did you go see Governor Cuomo? Why do I want to go see Governor Cuomo? I mean, let him run his own state. Let him run New York City. Why is he going to come down here and run Savannah? But, Van Johnson, our mayor, is a New York boy like me, so I guess there's a connection there.
Yeah, I guess so. So Cuomo was down here and giving some love to Mayor Johnson and saying, hey, we'll help you out any way we can. So that's the big. I think for all of us right now, We're all going to take precautions to do what we can to make athletics work, whether that's wearing masks, whether that's, just doing what we can from cleaning and every purpose to do it. But the reality is, me and you talk about this all the time, Carl, is we can only handle things while they're in our presence.
Right.
Once they leave our presence, that's when, we just don't have that control anymore. And that's what you and everyone else that are in this business try to emphasize to your student athletes is like, listen, if you want to keep on playing, make smart decisions when you leave the school.
That's what you got to do. And once again, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Wednesday Night Live update with the coach, Karl DeMasi, and the AD, Chad Griffin. All right, we had a lot of sports news other than what Georgia High School is going to do. By the way, the Georgia Independent State Association, which is Memorial Day School, St. Andrews, they're following the GHSA protocol. Bethesda has their own set of rules, but they will be allowed to play their first game, official game, August 28th. So that'll be the first one on tap. We'll see what Coach Antoine Turner does with the Bethesda Blazers. So let's go to the other side. Okay, Groves hires a former Rebel to be the head basketball coach, only 27 years old. He's getting a chance to be the head basketball coach. Xavier Wood, the athletic director, was the head boys coach, steps down Kevin Evans. And back when he played in the late 2000s, 08, 09, 010, they had a program over there. So this young man's got some credentials behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I think anytime you get someone that's involved back in their alma mater is a huge ordeal, because the love and passion for the program is already built there, and that's half the battle when you're coaching is taking care of those things, having people that truly love where they are, and obviously having someone that's a Groves alumni back in the seat there will do wonders for that program. The passion will be there. The development will be there. So it's exciting to get someone that's part of the Groves alumni that will be able to continue to build that program and try to keep on growing. I know they're going to have their whole new school, so they're going to find a place to play this year. They're dealing with some obstacles just like HV Jenkins is in football. So, trying to overcome some obstacles here with gym space and stuff. So where do you know where they're going to play, Carl?
I have no idea yet. I haven't heard word, but they're going to start breaking down that school. They're going to build a brand new K through 12, which will be the first public school in this area to go K through 12. So we'll see what that's like. I know the old stadium will be knocked down. They're going to build a new stadium over there. Savannah High, they broke ground, is going to have a new football stadium, new track, football, soccer field in the school. So that's going on. Over at Islands High School, new softball coach. I stepped down to become the athletic director again. I'll be coaching boys basketball again. So Jacob Baxter, young man out of Charlton County, very good high school baseball player. I think he played at ABAC, then went over to Armstrong. He was lost in that deal with Armstrong, changing to Georgia Southern. His father has been a longtime coach at Charlton County for like 30 years, so he'll be the new girls softball coach. Let's go with June. Well, first of all, I should have started with this. We do have a national champion in the city of Savannah, the Forest City Gun Club Juniors Clay Sporting Shooting Team. 41 kids went to Ohio. They came back with the national championship. Hey, it's the first time ever in their program. I was trying to get a coach on for tonight, but we'll have Coach Zach Gutierrez on Saturday to talk about them winning a national championship. I think it's called the Scholastic Shooting Program. It's definitely unbelievable. So we have a champion in shooting clay or sporting clay shooting, whatever they call it.
Well, the great thing about that program is there's so many schools. Yeah, there's so many schools represented, in that program, from BC, Savannah Christian, Calvary, Country Day. I mean, public schools as well. So, I mean, it's great to see that. And girls, everybody involved in the program is there, and to go up there and compete like they did and win it. I know they've been close over the past couple of years. It just shows you, I mean, Forest City Gun Club is the premier gun club, in the Southeast, and one of the premier in the country. I mean, the amount of, tournaments they host, whether it's, high school wise or GISA and others, is just tremendous. And so whatever they're doing out there, they're putting out great product because the kids that are coming out of that program know what they're doing.
They're doing something right. So congratulations to the Forest City Gun Club Juniors sporting shoot.
Sporting Clays.
Sporting Clays team. Like you said, all over from different schools, public school, private. Congratulations. We'll get a breakdown from Coach Zach Gutierrez on Saturday morning on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, the coach and AD. All right, let's go to local golf. Savannah Junior Golf has finished this week, Monday and Tuesday, was the 25th annual Matt Warren Savannah Junior Golf End of the Season Championship. We got to go with a young man from Calvary Day School, Brendan
Tiger.
He finished first. He'll be on Saturday morning with the girls, who is Abigail Cheney out of South Effingham High School. Brandon is a rising senior, and so is Abigail Cheney. So I'm excited to talk about them. So they're our Savannah Junior Golf Open champions, okay? I got to speak about a young lady out of Savannah Christian, only 14 years old. She went to the Georgia State Golf Association's Women Amateur. You have college students. You have 8 college golfers, high school golfers. Mary Miller went down to the 18th hole, tied the other 2 girls. Well, sorry, she was one back. One girl birdied it, went to a playoff, but Mary Miller finished third. She's only 14 years old, Chad.
Yeah, that's really impressive, and their scores were fantastic. You think about who she's competing against at that level, and to be, you're going to hear that name for a very long time. She's going to be one of those kids you're like, God, is she not a senior yet? Because she's, you're going to hear that name for 4 years plus, at Savannah Christian, and just being a top golfer. And then, the 12-year-old, Bear Dolander out of Calvary Day School, took home, his age division.
And a 12-year-old age group, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And so, the numbers they were shooting is like 72s and 75s, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, it is unreal, the amount of talent that is now back in Savannah playing junior golf, and the scores are just unbelievable how low the scores are. I'm more impressed with that than anything else. Like,
it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me. My for some reason, I had this all on my tablet. My tablet won't let me open my Word documents, but go to the prepsportsreport.com and you can get a story about Mary Miller finishing third in the Georgia State Golf Association's Women Amateur College, High School, not in high school tournament. She finished third. And then the Savannah Junior Golf Association 25th Annual Matt Warren Championship. We have all the scores for every kid that was part of that tournament. So last night was a lot of fun. Brought back a lot of nostalgia, and I know I didn't know soon enough to take you. But once again, the Savannah Bananas know what they do. They formed or created their own rival called the Savannah Party Animals. Now, if you remember, Chad, that was one of the names that was up for the name before Fan First Organization took Savannah Bananas. We had Savannah Bananas. We had the Bananas, the Pilots, the Scouts, the Pilots for the Riverboat Pilots, the Scouts for the Girl Scouts, and the Party Animals. Bananas won, but they recreated the Party Animals last night, and it was just great seeing those, Kyle Hilton and Zach Brockman and Will Johns.
A kid named Dom DeMasi. Come on, you can say it.
Yeah, it's coming to an end. I'm not going to get to see my son play much more baseball, but just the atmosphere. It was sold out. They were sold out Tuesday afternoon by 1:00. I know it's only 2,000 tickets for a Coastal Wooden Bat Playing League game, an exhibition. It was a lot of fun, though. They had a lot of going back and forth, and Savannah Party Animals was coached by Ross Howard, a Calvary graduate. He's on third base. They deliver a pizza to him. The first base coach is sitting in a beach chair with a cooler. I don't know if there was adult beverages in it, but it was just a great time last night. So they're playing tonight against the Lexington County Blowfish. So we'll have more. We will have the new kid that is their internet broadcaster. They call him Biko, but it's Nicholas Scala. He's from New York. He's has some Major League Baseball announcing experience, and he'll be on talking about how. Now, this is something special, Chad. Start thinking about your questions. On the away games, the Coastal Playing League broadcasts it. So Bananas aren't allowed to do it on their broadcast. he takes a whiteboard and they film him drawing plays and drawing what's going on the whiteboard. I don't know how this kid does it, but it's pretty amazing.
Well, I feel like when I first saw it and read about it, I felt like, you remember watching Bull Durham?
Oh yeah.
When they sit there and they're doing it by radio, but they're not really there. They're turning into the other radio and they're broadcasting. He hits a wooden stick. He hits the button on the, that's the fan noise. And I was like, that's how I felt when I saw that. I'm like, that's straight out of Bull Durham. That is just, but it's creative. It's what you do in this day and age, and give him credit, man. It's going to be great to talk to him and just how he does everything, from play to play.
All right. So that's all we got for tonight. Once again, here's the Coach's Corners event calendar. Tonight, they're out in the Sound Garden with Pub Star Trivia. Okay. It's always every Thursday night. Sorry, my fault. Tonight Coach has Pub Star Trivia in the Sound Garden. Thursday night is always fun. They have Family Feud in the Sound Garden. I didn't know that. I got to read a little closer. Of course, live music this weekend in Sound Garden. Friday features Savannah's favorite up-and-coming band, Drucker, all Calvary alumni kids. That it was really good. They'll be rocking it out. I mean, you want rock and roll music? 7 p.m. Saturday, Coaches proudly presents Voodoo Soup. That's right, Voodoo Soup. Savannah's premier funk band. Big E and Cool James will start laying down the grooves at 7 p.m. Sunday, the Sound Garden will host dueling pianos at 6 p.m. A lot of fun. I came a couple of weeks ago. If you know someone's celebrating a birthday or anniversary, it's a lot of fun. They do a lot of songs. Anything you want to listen to, they'll do it. So once again, that's at Coach's Corner this weekend. Once again, we're on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. The coach and the AD will be back Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. I think we're going to be inside, Chad. I don't know if we're going to go out in that heat.
Whew. I hope we're sitting right where you are, because it's supposed to be smoking this weekend, man. It's going to get hot.
I'm sitting right here. The fans are blowing on me. The air conditioner's on. I'm not indulging myself in adult beverages because I got to drive when I leave here. But once again, have fun at baseball practice, and you got a lot of work to do for you coming up. What's going on in Calvary? Open up that school with kids coming in.
Yeah, we are. We're back at it, and I was working on before this. I was doing what you're doing this morning, working on eligibility, and
yeah, so I got to go back and finish that tomorrow.
yeah, working. So people don't realize behind the scenes there's so much more going on here. So, but man, great to see you again, and we'll see you live Saturday at Coach's Corner on the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
Before you, I guess remove yourself. Make sure we get Mr. Dr. Hunter Chadwick on for next week. Everybody knows Hunter Chadwick. Local boy, done good, coached at BC, worked at Savannah Christian, went up to Atlanta. He's back home as the new headmaster at Calvary. I want to see, and he's old head football coach, so I want to see if he's going to be the football coach running the show at Calvary. I want to talk to Hunter.
Yeah, man, I put him down in our list of kind of hierarchy. If something happens to Coach Stroud and Coach Brantley, like, where's he going? I said, hey, you want to get back on the sideline and coach? He's like, yeah, you can put me down somewhere in there if you need me. So he always goes back to it, man. You can tell it's a love and passion of his. So we'll get him on next Wednesday night. I'll schedule that.
All right. So once again, have fun with your son. I'll see you Saturday morning. I know we'll talk before that. And once again, appreciate what you do there, Chad.
Always. Same to you, man. We'll talk Saturday morning. Great to be back.
You got it. And let me take us out of here. So I would like to thank our sponsor for making this possible every week. And that's, of course, John Henderson and the crew at Coach's Corner on Victory Drive. Once again, stop on by. They're open. They survived we're still in the coronavirus pandemic, but they survived it with takeout and curbside service. They're going strong. John Henderson is a big community guy. Come support Coach's Corner. And remember, this show, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, and Rubbin' and Grubbin' are all part of the Coach's Corner network. So remember, every Saturday night from 7 p.m., right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, it's the coach, Karl DeMasi, and for the AD, Chad Griffin. Enjoy the rest of your week. May it be the best week ever. And whatever you may be doing, always hit it out of the park. And until Saturday morning, I'll talk to you then. God bless. Be safe. Wash those hands.